Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. I rise to highlight some great news in the electorate of Finniss. There are several items in the last few weeks that have occurred in Finniss that really need recognition. One is the announcement on Friday that the Mount Compass Recreation Park has been given the green light, that the Marshall Liberal Government has reached a funding agreement with the Alexandrina District Council to deliver the recreation park in Mount Compass. The other one is the great welcome news of the payroll tax cuts that have occurred that have been well accepted by the community. The other is the launch of the Regional Growth Fund and also some announcements of some funding for local roads from the federal government. The recreation park at Mount Compass is something the community has been calling for many years. We've seen that town survive with very much community support, developing small playgrounds and schoolyards over the years. My time when I'm growing up there, I certainly remember the community raising funds to put in a slippery dip, the same as was up at the Monash playground. And so it's been very limited playground facilities in Mount Compass for many years. I'm really pleased that, along with the Alexandrina Council and the Marshall Liberal Government, we're now going to see 700,000 or thereabouts invested in a playground in Mount Compass to deliver a wonderful facility for the local community. Yesterday I was lucky enough to join Mayor Keith Parkes from Alexandrina Council and the local councillor Grant Gartrell at the site, just to have a look at where it's going to go, and work is hoped to start very shortly on that facility. Just as a little bit more planning is done, and work should start, as the Mayor said yesterday, as soon as the weather is right to do so. The other bit of good news is the payroll cuts. Last night I was at a function in Victor Harbor with the Victor Harbor Business Association, and talking with some of the members of the association, they were very thrilled to realise that these cuts were coming their way. There are many businesses that are affected by this cut and are going to have great benefits. One business I was talking to last night, one business owner who operates a building business, his instant reaction was, "I will now be able to employ one more staff member." So that's fantastic news, that we're actually giving the ability for businesses to invest in their staff and increase their staffing levels as a direct response to these cuts that have occurred in payroll tax. Certainly, the regional area certainly relies on these local small businesses to deliver in their community, and just to have that instant reaction that someone was going to get employed directly as a result was exciting news to me. I guess the other piece of great news is the announcement of the Regional Growth Fund applications being opened. This is generating a lot of interest locally as people look at the criteria around it and seeing what can be done to invest in the region, to see whether we can stimulate the regions back to where they should be as a key driver of this state's economy. The regions of South Australia are very important, and we've seen them neglected over many, many years. The other good news this week is also seen over the weekend with the Deputy Prime Minister here in the seat of Mayo, some announcements about some black spot funding on some roads. And there's some roads that are needed significant upgrades and safety upgrades in the country regions throughout the Adelaide Hills and Fleurieu, and Finniss is not the only place, but it certainly is one of many that needs that sort of investment. And we've seen some roads extremely neglected over the years, and we're now seeing some funds that will actually enable us to do some great work in this area. So I thank the federal government for that investment in the area, and I thank the Liberal Marshall government also for investing in the area as well. Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker.
That'll come back to it.